Before the story begins, here's a short message to the viewers. If you've ever lost someone and still carry them in your heart, this story is for you. Subscribe not just for us, but for the part of you that still believes in love, family, and second chances. My name is Mark. I want to tell you a story that I've never shared before. It's about my brother Ryan. He left home when he was only 18 years old, and he didn't come back for 20 years. Back then, we lived in a small house near the mountains. It was not a big town, but it was peaceful. Our family wasn't rich, but we had love. My mother was a kind woman who always smiled, even when life was hard. My father was strict. He believed in discipline and hard work. Ryan, my older brother, was full of dreams. He didn't want to follow our father's path. He wanted freedom. He wanted to travel, to create, to become someone different. They argued often. One evening, after a big fight with Dad, Ryan packed his bag. No one thought he was serious, but the next morning, he was gone. No goodbye, no letter, just gone. I was only 11. I waited by the door every evening, hoping he'd return. But weeks turned to months. Months turned to years. Mom cried silently at night. Dad never spoke of Ryan again. And I tried to grow up in the space he left behind. We heard nothing, no calls, no messages. It was like he disappeared into the wind. Life moved on. I finished school, got a job, stayed close to home. Mom got older, her hair turned gray. Dad became quieter. And Ryan remained a shadow in all of our hearts. 20 years passed. Then, one rainy morning, everything changed. I was at home with Mom, now a soft-spoken woman who mostly sat in her chair by the window. The doorbell rang. I opened the door, and I froze. There he was, Ryan, older, thinner, with a long beard and tired eyes. He held a small backpack in one hand and a folded letter in the other. For a second, I didn't move, and then I hugged him, tight. He didn't cry, but his eyes were full of pain. I called out, "Mom, he's here! It's Ryan!" She stood slowly, walked into the room and looked at him. Her lips trembled. She touched his face gently and whispered, "You came home." For a while, we just sat together, not saying much. There were too many questions, too many feelings. Later, we sat around the old kitchen table. Ryan looked down and said, "I'm sorry. I was selfish. I thought I could live without family, but I was wrong." He told us everything. He had moved to the city, tried many jobs. He wanted to become a musician. He sang in bars, slept on couches, lived a wild, lonely life. Sometimes he had money, sometimes nothing at all. There were moments he wanted to come back, but shame held him back. He thought we hated him. He thought too much time had passed. "But I never stopped thinking about home," he said quietly. Mom held his hand. "This will always be your home, no matter how long you've been gone." But the hardest moment was yet to come. Dad. He was working outside in the garden. When he walked in and saw Ryan, he stopped. His hands shook slightly. No one spoke. Then Ryan stood and said, "Dad, I was wrong, and I'm sorry." For a moment, Dad looked away. Then he walked up to Ryan and hugged him, a deep, long, silent hug. Tears fell from both their eyes. After all those years, something heavy inside our family finally broke, and something beautiful began to grow again. That night, we had dinner like a real family. It felt strange, but warm. Ryan stayed. He got a small job in town. He played guitar at the local cafe. He helped Dad in the garden. He made tea for Mom every evening. He talked to me like we were little boys again. One day he told me, "I wasted 20 years, Mark, but I don't want to waste another minute." I smiled and said, "You didn't waste it. You found your way back." Sometimes life pulls us away from the people we love. Sometimes pride, pain, or fear builds walls around our hearts. But love, True love waits. This story isn't about the years we lost. It's about the courage it takes to come back and the power of forgiveness. If you're holding on to guilt or waiting for someone who's been gone a long time, let this story remind you it's never too late to come home. It's never too late to be a family again.